No, I did not.
Okay.
Is that what they're saying?
No, no.
Okay.
But I was, talking to Frank Zoo, and then of course watching his videos about uh, changing the springs and everything like that. I couldn't recall if he had mentioned about changing that rear spring because I actually do have springs for that I could change it out to, but I didn't know, and I was like, do I need to mess with it or should I leave it alone? So I think I'm gonna leave it alone.
Seems like
I will I will forward you. Somebody posted on, I think it was Instagram, that Nils told him exactly what spring setup to run to shoot any kind of ammo.
Hmm.
And so I um, private messaged him asking him what did I run, an SFX and what was Nils recommending, and he replied to me. So I will forward that to you
Okay, that'd be awesome. So
because I'm thinking about doing, if I can figure out some of it, I couldn't understand exactly what he was saying.
okay.
So I may have to reply back to him. But if I can figure out exactly what he's saying, I may end up doing that with my backup gun instead of doing the Sprinco. Try the other combination in my original SFX,
And
and,
that's what I'm doing. I just got all the
and not this guy.
yeah, I just got the Freedom Smith trigger, race trigger, my Sprinko tungsten rod, the new tungsten solid rod and the springs and everything. So I was working on that before we started this, and I just couldn't remember if we changed out that rear spring or not. So
Gotcha.
what's
so
the weight on the tungsten rod?
to be honest with you, I can't tell you. I mean, it's very light.
I'm not sure either. It's heavier than the original aluminum, but I don't
Okay, I was
know.
just curious.
But that is what I'm hearing. There's a tungsten guide rod, which is heavier, and a spring setup, which works better because, um, and I'm seeing it again all over, like the Canic Fanatic Facebook site where people are like, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why people have to bitch, moan, whine, and argue all the time, but it's like 50% are saying I get a failure to extract. I get some failure, shooting regular ammo through my Canic. And the other ones are like, oh, then you're limp wristing it. Everything, that's the answer to everything. You're limp wristing it. I don't even know if they know what that means. But I
I
think they're
think
just
that's
calling, I
I
think
think
they're
that's
just
like
being
I think that's
discriminatory and calling everybody gay.
I was just getting ready to say that's the polite way of saying you're gay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
Politically
ridiculous.
correct way.
But Nils even came out and had that, what I would call a public service announcement saying, look, you have to understand that the ammo over here in Turkey requires much stiffer springs and everything. So the gun is not set up for American ammo. The gun is set up for Turkish ammo.
Yeah, it's the
Right.
So
same
you
thing you
have
said
to
last.
adjust
Yeah,
accordingly. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, oh my God, man, the arguments, it's like if there was a way to virtually fight, they would do it. Like physically fight virtually, they would do it. Like Rock'em
Tron.
Sock'em
Let's do
Robots
Tron.
or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
you breaking out the
yeah.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots? I
Yeah.
Sock'em Robots.
Man, you guys are old. But no, it's interesting just because you did talk about that in the last episode. About the different setup. It's like like you said, why is it this giant argument when there's an obvious explanation, and just be like, oh, okay, well then mine hasn't had that issue, but yours does because of this very obvious and public, like, stated issue. So okay, it is what it is. Everybody got to fight about something, man.
It's
Well,
crazy.
that's how we are. We just we want to bitch about something. You don't have nothing to bitch about, then your life's over.
It's ridiculous.
So
Bonkers.
I
yeah,
like getting on those pages and forums and stuff to see the new stuff and see how people are being creative with things. But I could do without all the drama. I don't need the
Right.
drama. You want to be a
Yeah.
drama? Stop being a little bitch.
Be a little bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that one. I mean, just it's some people. My gun is different than your gun. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I'm out here to have a good time.
Right.
That's it. So
And I'm all ears. If you've got something, that I don't know about, I'm all ears. I'll listen, because I
Right.
don't, I far from know everything about guns. I mean, I've been around them since I was a kid, and I don't mean just, oh, we went out in the backyard and we plinked. No, I've been around competition shooting since the mid 70s. So there aren't too many people that can say that.
right.
But I still have way less knowledge than a lot of people out there who've been around it shorter time than I have. So I'm all ears.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but I will tell you that Frank sent me a nice little email, telling me about the setup, and he actually sent me a link that sent me to basically it's the Wolf Gun Spring
Okay.
website, and telling me, what to look for in spring wise. So I have to say thank you, Frank, for that. You're great. He's a very good guy. Always gets back to me pretty quickly with information. So
This is
sponsor.
the part where Huggy starts flirting with people.
No, I said
Great, he's amazing, he's amazing. Listen, I agree. Having met the guy, super nice guy. But if
Yeah,
you want to
he
go on a
is.
date with him, just direct message him.
I thought that's why I
Just
stopped.
drop in his DMs, like the kids are saying.
Right, but that's why I stopped it. That's why I said, hey, thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it. I knew you because I saw that look on your face, like,
Just saying.
oh, here it
He is a
comes.
very nice guy, though, and it's awesome that he is so willing to be given with information.
Yeah. So yeah.
Should ask him what kind of steak he likes. Send him a box of Omaha steaks or something.
Right. Next time I'll email him. I'll ask him that. So, but yeah. So any more votes on the?
The only official vote we have so far is the one, but it was a fairly emphatic. Don't do that.
Yes, it was.
As we haven't talked about it on our public forum, I think the quote was, oh God, what was it? Something about holster. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Hold on.
holster wear.
Yeah, holster wear is a finish.
Yes.
Thank you. I was like something to do with a holster and pulling it in and out. Now I'm doing some weird gesturing on a video. You're welcome, buddy.
Shake weight.
Yeah. Hey, I actually had to use that in one of my PT sessions. Weirdest thing ever.
Is it really?
Yeah, super bizarre when you got to do one of these jobs. Seriously, I was like, this is super uncomfortable, Jody. She's like, just do it.
This is not a Nike commercial. Stop using that slogan.
Oh yeah, definitely not a sponsor.
Definitely not.
100% not a sponsor.
But we would accept it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take what we can get at this point.
I'm okay with Korean sweatshops.
Hey, which
Just
one
saying.
which background did you change?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's the same as the last one.
Okay, it threw me off for a second. I'm like, wait, everything looks the same. I don't know, maybe it's some super secret
I looked at
thing.
it and I'm like, I said, it was a long 3 shifts.
Yeah,
So today I wasn't being super creative.
I understand. It's okay.
Get this, we were staged on a call from 9:43 p.m. till 4:06 a.m. For the first 2.5 hours, we were at the scene, and then I called and said, look, we're going to move to the station. We're a half mile away if you're okay with that. And they're like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
4:06, we got cleared. 4:11, we got put back on it for something else. Same place. I'm not going to talk about it here, but it's just been one of those things. You know what I mean? It's like the shift before, I got an hour and a half to 2 hours sleep. Last night, hour and a half, 2 hours sleep. And it's like The shift before was every 2 hours we were getting a call, and then at 4 a.m. between 4 and 6 we got 3 calls.
Yeah, no,
It's
thank you.
it's been busy.
Well, and I always find it very interesting. Like, hey, we're gonna do a sleep study. I'm like, bro, we did a sleep study when I first got here 15 years ago,
And we still haven't gotten sleep.
and that's the thing that
so
kill
no
like.
sleep.
Hey, I don't know if you guys are aware. The science says that if you sleep, you do better in life and live longer and all that jazz. So, I mean, I don't know why we need to study it any further. We've hit the point of diminishing return on that study. Sleep
Yeah.
more, live better.
We've studied it so much we're losing sleep over it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys ready to kick this thing?
Hit me.
All right. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 12 of the Casual Shooter Podcast. I'm Dave, your host, and again with us we have Chris and Leo. Say hello.
Hello.
What's up?
All right. So as usual, this will be a video and a normal podcast, so audio podcast. So if we do any show and tell, which I know I've got some because we talked last episode about some stuff, I've got some stuff to show. So I'll make sure I describe it for the audio listeners.
Works for me.
I've got a whole list of stuff. I don't know if you guys do, but I got a whole list of things that I can talk about.
Let's get into
Today.
it then.
All right, getting into it now.
All right.
Number one, back in early December, late November, I saw a post on, I want to say Instagram, from Henning Group about a new +4 base pad that they came out for Canik magazines. They looked really good, but the thing that really caught my eye was the detent pin in the back, which is how you remove the actual +4 base pad. And I really like that idea. I have Taylor Freelance base pads right now. I have brass and I have aluminum, and I love them both. They're great. No issues with them, but they require a screw in the back, so you've got to have the correct adapter and a screwdriver to unscrew it. The nice thing about the Henning Group is with the detent pin, basically a lot of your magazine brushes have that little screwdriver bit looking thing on the back end of it, and
yeah.
you can use that to push the detent pin down and whoop, slide it right off. So I'm excited to try these. I had 2 brand new magazines that with my whiteout that I haven't done anything with yet, so I put them on my brand new mags. So that will be interesting. They'll be one of the first ones that I use in a match. So I'm excited about that.
Aluminum, right?
They are both aluminum, so they're not the brass. They're not nearly as heavy as the brass, which I really like. If they would ever do it in brass, I would be excited to try it. The other thing is, I went with blue. You can see the Taylor Freelance. It's got a lot of use. You can see it's beat up pretty good. But I really like the dark, like metallic blue of this one. That's a really nice color. And there's a lot of detail to this. I'm very impressed with the quality. It'll be interesting to see how it runs in a match. I'll always have my Taylor Freelance too, though. So,
A, both not sponsors. B, I remember you talking when you first got the brass, the Taylor Freelance, how much you liked them because you didn't have to worry about the mag dropping. Like it was going to drop. Right. Have you, with any of your dry firing or anything, have you found any issues with it snagging or not dropping with the new ones?
I haven't even started my dry fire yet. That's one of the things on my list.
Okay.
So I have not used those in dry fire. I don't suspect that I would have any issue because even though it is aluminum, the normal base pad on here is a +2 plastic.
Right.
So this is still more weight than that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I know that that's something we had talked about when you first got the brass ones. So.
Well, the brass ones I got just because I've heard people talking about how it shifts the center of gravity basically in the gun and just helps with managing the recoil, helping it shoot a little flatter.
Right.
So That's why I got the brass to try them out. And I do like them. And they do drop very well because they're much heavier.
Yeah.
Well, you remember how I was having that problem with the mags dropping out of mine, but it was one of the Canics, something with Canic inside the gun. And just to show you my gun, and chamber is empty, no mags, empty chamber. Okay.
Safety third.
Yes, safety third. But up inside here, let me see if I can do it. I know you probably can't see it, but inside there's these two ribs on the bottom, ribs on the top. They're supposed to be at times a nice tight grip for the magazine in there, but competitively, it's not good because it just holds the magazines in there too tight. So I actually had to file mine down so that when I do drop the mag, because I don't have the mags that Dave has, I'm using a different brand. Their mags are basically a 3D print, so it's a lot lighter. So it doesn't have weight. So yeah, but sanding those down, nice. I heard you.
And they worked great right out of the box.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say something about Rib for her pleasure now that he's got his new Mary gun. So
Oh my God. Let me tell you, that's what I'm working on right now. This is my primary gun. This is the Old Faithful. This is the one I've started with. All right. On my FSX series. Of course, before that I had the SA, the SF, but I got a new one. So that's Mary. She's upstairs right now being worked on. Tuning her up.
oh my.
Yeah. I'm
I
tuning
hope she
her
didn't
up.
talk back.
She carried on a very beautiful conversation, So
I don't know why that just reminded me, and I know Dave and I
Brick House by the Commodores.
Yes. But Dave and I talked about this
Not a sponsor.
on the Instagram. And Huggy, your 2 cents, because it just reminded me. You sent me the link about the aftermarket base pads on the SIG, which I shoot in competition right now, and how it was having issues with some of the internal components and jamming the feed guide, right? For the mag up, so that when it wouldn't go into battery because that bar was now bent up.
upwards.
You're Jamming Me by Tom Petty.
Okay.
Definitely not enough sleep.
He hasn't gotten enough sleep at all, which I'm okay with.
I'm like my first patient of the day. I'm delirious.
So have you, is either one of you found with the aftermarket base pads in particular, that you're having any feeding issues that haven't been contributed to the issues that we had with the actual, oh my gosh, bullet itself? Sorry, the projectile,
No.
because we had that problem that got sorted. That is no longer a factor. Without that as an issue, have you had any feed issues because of aftermarket base pads?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Nothing that I can attribute to it.
Okay.
No, mine have been great. No issues, no problems. I've switched from Taylor Freelance to Cane Arms, I think it is. Back to the original base pads from Canic, back to Cane Arms. So I haven't had any issues.
Now,
Okay.
Huggy, didn't you get new springs for all your Taylor Freelance base pads?
I did get new springs from Taylor Freelance for my magazines. They are a stronger spring because from using my previous springs, they had weakened and everything, but they still function. But the ones I bought from Taylor Freelance were just a lot stronger springs, so it was definitely pushing the ammunition up into one of the chambers. So no issues there. Sorry, Leo.
No, it's totally fine. It was interesting because Dave and I had actually seen the same and I forget who it was that posted it, but we had seen the same one, and he sent it to me in the in the Instagram chat, and I was like, oh, I'm really glad that he actually made me read the whole thing. Because I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to buy aftermarket base pads for my SIG, because that has been the issue that has been leading to that armature getting bent up and then not going into battery. And I was like, well, I'm going to stick with what I got. I mean, I'm in production anyways, so I don't have to worry about it right now. When I was shooting limited, that would have been something that I would have considered. But now I'm not going to do that because the gun was functioning fine with the pads it came with.
Does SIG not offer or do they not offer an extended base pad for their mags?
They have it already. So when I was shooting limited 10, it was their extended mag, like their extended magazine already, and it came with, I think it's plus 5. So I had to do math. I'm pretty sure
I
it's
saw
either plus 5 or plus 4. Okay, we all know my amazing mathematical abilities. But they have their own SIG extended base pads already.
Okay.
And they're the plastic, so that's why you would see me do the jiggle when I would change mags, as opposed to, because there's no added weight. So they don't just, I mean, they don't get stuck, but to get it a little bit faster, I would do the little, as Casey called it, the John Wick, where I would do my little jiggle and then line it up.
Right. The Glock flip.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, but
okay.
Yeah, once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it, because I've spent enough money. I don't want to break parts.
Yeah, and what he's talking about, Huggy, there was another person who posted, I think it was Logan Saunders who had it initially, because he shoots a SIG.
Okay.
And he actually shoots I want to say it's a SIG 357 and open.
Yes.
Very interesting.
That seems right.
But there was someone else who commented saying that someone at a match actually broke that piece completely off.
Yeah.
So what was it? The ejector, I think.
Yeah. I could pull it out, but it's in the gun safe right now.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the ejector. It's in such a position, and they showed Huggy when they showed a view, like if you're looking. Look, I was afraid to point the gun at the computer like I was pointing at you guys. But they showed a view down here when you load the magazine up that the aftermarket base pad actually came up and caused issues with hitting the ejector, and his bent up and he couldn't get his slide into battery. But another person said they saw someone who's broke completely off during a match.
Well, remember when you and I were in Fredericksburg and I had that Magwell and I was shooting limited. Remember I had an extended base pad extension on there, and it would not go into battery.
That was the cane.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
It was a cane arm one, but I had the cane arm and a different Magwell. I can't remember which Magwell I had on there. But they just didn't agree, and it wouldn't go in the battery. It wouldn't even lock in. So yeah, I understand that.
Well, and then you had the other issue. You could put the magazine in and let the slide go, but it wouldn't chamber around.
Right.
So there was that problem too. So
and
good, you got all that fixed.
And then remember also when we were having the magazine not dropping out. Remember I even let you try it because you were like, "Oh, come on, are you just squeezing it too hard?" I'm like, I'm not." And you were like, I remember I loved it when you put it in your gun, and it was like, it wasn't dropping out, and you were like, wow. No, it would drop out in your gun. It would drop out in your gun, but then when you put it in mine and tried it, it wouldn't drop out. You were like,
right, because we tried my mags in your gun.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember?
So yeah, we've had some interesting times. So with the magazine,
a lot of trial and error.
Well, and that's the thing. It just goes back to the initial discussion of like, you got to try, like, you always want to be improving, and not just your skill set, but the firearm itself. Like, try a different setup to see if it works better. And if it works better, go with it. Like, why wouldn't you want to try to get the maximum performance out of your firearm that you can within the context of what you're using it for, be it everyday carry or competition? Like, why wouldn't you want to maximize your gun's ability?
Right.
And then just have people get upset about it.
That's right. Well, I'm going
Ridiculous.
to maximize mine. Who care about the holster wear?
It's too bad we can't get to the range more frequently and figure these things out before we get to a match, you know?
Yeah. Well, the world being what it is and not being able to get more ammo and whatever else. So,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, we got, primers finally, which is good.
I'm scared to shoot the little bit of ammo I have just for fear of not having any at all.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
and I will say that, I think Dave, Dave and I, we just talked about it briefly when we met, which, by the way, got some nice casual shooter podcast, face mask, whoop, thanks to Jill there.
Definitely a sponsor.
Yes. Y'all want some really nice looking, cool casual shooters podcast, mask, make sure you get in touch with Dave Riddle. But no, what I was going to say was I love that video that the president for Winchester CCI put out there about ammunition and primers, saying like, hey, look, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not, making, certain people prioritory, we are just, he said, here's the math. Do the math. He was like, hell, we've had over 7 million new gun owners. And he was like, how much ammo is each box hold? And you do the math, and he's like, we are so far behind. It's not even funny. He's like, we're working around the clock trying to make this ammunition. And he walked through the plant showing that they are working around the clock. And then at the same time, their employees are getting hit by COVID, so they're doing the best they can. I mean, yes, I love reloading and I enjoy reloading, and I would love to be reloading for us right now and getting, us, thousands of ammunition ready for this coming season. But, I think that the president put it in perspective, and I mean the president of Winchester CCI put it in perspective of the fact that, hey, we're working around the clock, but we are hurting just as bad as everybody else. So, props to you, president of Winchester CCI.
Not a sponsor.
Would happily take them as a sponsor, but
Yep.
so yeah. All right, what else you got, Dave?
Even if it meant I had to shoot white box, Winchester white box, I'd be down with it. I'm okay with that.
Hey,
I'm easy. I'm a cheap. You know what?
it's like you would
All
say.
right, so I still have several
Okay, hit it.
items.
All right, I like it.
Let's hit it.
I have finally completed all of my reading, and I have sat down and actually completed my goals for next year. And I've got all of I've already determined what major matches I want to shoot, which is 6 of them for next year. I've got all of my leave put in, and it's all good. So I've already cleared my calendar. All I have to do now is basically, when the registration opens up for all of that, start doing that. Since I have the next few days off, I will be completing my training schedule and beginning my dry fire, new season dry fire all over again, which is good timing because I got the Go Fast Don't Suck targets at the Virginia. Well, I ordered them at the Virginia State match. They came in after nationals, so they haven't been used. They're pristine, ready to go. So I've seen some things on the interwebs. So I've got some ideas for some more movement stuff. So I plan on, by January 1, I plan on start training hard for the first major match of the season, which is in April for me.
Okay.
They're not a sponsor, but we will take them.
Yes.
So, Bill, if you're listening,
Bill
we'll take some.
Luda. So I'm excited about that. I'll go back through the stuff that I've read and go back through all of the different drills that are in all of those books and start picking out the ones that I feel will give me the biggest bang for the buck for my time being spent dry firing for now. And I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take a couple of things. I haven't determined which ones I want to do yet, but listening to Travis Tomasi, I think I'm going to take a couple of skills and do what he talked about, which is breaking them down step by step and really working some things to make some big improvements for this year. So I definitely have to work more on movement and shooting while moving. But one of the big things I learned at nationals was I was shooting and moving at times that other people of better skill were not. So I feel like there are times where it's beneficial and other times where it is not. And I've got to learn where that line is and know when it's better just to keep moving into the position and other times where it's better to shoot while moving and transition. So I've got a lot to learn still, but I'm dissecting all of my issues and working on them one at a time.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
So the 2 months of nothing, no dry fire, I should say. The 2 months of learning is working so far, I believe.
Well, and then what was your reading list? I know there was more than one book.
There were actually 3 different Ben Steger books.
Sorry.
So let me entertain you.
Just keep singing, it'll be great.
Yeah.
We can start a band.
So I just finished Match Mentality. That's the one I wanted to end up because I felt like that was the most advanced because there were so many different topics, especially about things like when you're in a match, how should you be doing your walkthrough? What should you be focusing on and things that are not necessarily the strongest part of my wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there was that one. There was Breakthrough Marksmanship and the Skills and Drills Reloaded. So I went through all of those. So what I'm going to do is take what I've learned in the Breakthrough Marksmanship and the Match Mentality and put that together with the skills and drills, basically pluck things out of the skills and drills from that, or the drills from that book, some out of Anderson's book, kind of combine some things and just totally rework my whole dry fire training. I still have no, actually, I have read all of those, but he does have another book coming out that I'm really interested in. And I know that they've already pushed the book out to several people. So they have basically a finished product.
Mm-hmm.
And they've pushed it out to a bunch of people in their inner circle to read over, get input, and then they'll publish the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be the final piece to the puzzle for me, but I'm not going to wait until that comes out. I'm going to go ahead and start all the stuff I need to do now. So if I read something in there later, okay, I'll see where I can incorporate it. But right now, January 1, I plan on kicking this thing off.
All right.
It's a way to start off the new year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
It was good, Huggy. You got this is a segue into the next part of my list It's a good thing you bought your trigger when you did, because I was just on Freedom Smith 2 days ago, and it's like that entire site was wiped out.
Yeah.
There is nothing on it.
Yeah.
It'd be like walking into Walmart and seeing empty shelves everywhere. Ridiculous.
It's like a pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. They got wiped out by a buyer's pandemic.
Yeah. Actually, it's very interesting you say that, because I noticed that it was when I was looking at my triggers, I was like, man, wow, there's not a lot left here. There was like sold out, sold out, sold out, you know. And but the trigger that I wanted, they had. So of course I purchased it. So, but I did even notice that it even took longer for it to get here. Now, of course, it was the holiday, so I'll give the holidays its due.
Yeah.
But it did take even longer than normal for it to arrive to me. So, but I'm happy. I'm glad I got it. It's being installed. Upgrade Mary.
Nice.
It's hard to upgrade Mary anymore, but
I know. Smooth machine.
truth.
So, you guys hold the fort down. I'm gonna go grab something real quick. Chat amongst
We'll keep
yourself. I need
talking.
I need another
Give us a
show and
topic.
tell item. I forgot.
The chickpea. It is neither a chick nor a pea. Discuss.
Be right back.
So, but speaking of dry fire, and I see our fellow comrade in the fire department, Kevin. I know I'm going to pronounce his name incorrectly. So, Kevin, if you're listening, I apologize.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gorsby?
Gorsby,
yeah.
Roseby, or something.
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
Have an easier name.
so I see Kevin has on Instagram. He's been out there doing some dry firing, and
Heck yeah, man. Have you seen his freaking videos?
yes,
There's a
Dude.
reason that he's better than us, and it's not just because he works for Fairfax,
yeah,
although that doesn't hurt.
right.
You know?
Yeah. So,
But yeah, he's definitely kicking his season into high gear with doing his prep work, and it's paying off because he's fast. He's fast.
dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm seeing next year during competition. I'm seeing him at nationals. I think he's gonna rock it out.
Well, okay. Well, let's not get crazy. He's gonna do well, I think. But yeah, he's definitely putting in work.
I'm gonna, if I was like, you know, this is a horse race. He's gonna be my my, no pun intended, dark horse that's gonna come out of the woodworks there and kind of shake things up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I think you have a slight bit more confidence than I do, and this is not to detract from him at all or his abilities. He's got a mountain to climb if he's gonna end up. I mean, even top 10.
Yeah, he does, but I
So
just from watching him shoot, you know, in the past, you know, when we were there watching him, or when he shot with, not with us, but in the same,
near us,
yeah,
in the vicinity of us.
right. He's pretty good. Now, I mean, his dry fire training now during off season is, I'm telling you, he's smoking it. So
We're talking about our buddy in Fairfax,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
didn't know-
definitely has a lot of talent.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd seen any of the stuff he'd put on Instagram.
Not recently, no.
Of his dry fire training. Yeah.
I like
Again,
it.
I think, and not to disparage, Huggy has a slight bit more confidence in him than I do to really start moving up the ladder. I think he can and he will. But again, I don't think he's going to be necessarily blowing any of the regular names out of the water.
I think,
But he will make a name for himself more than he is now, I think.
yeah, but I think he's going to be knocking on the door. He's going to knock on. He's going to push.
I mean, I knock on the door. I usually just run the other direction though, because the door's scary.
They have
I,
a name for that.
Yeah.
when I knock on the door, it's
Ding
usually
dong
the
ditch.
wrong door.
I have done that. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
It is awkward. I've been there.
It gets uncomfortable. Hey, stranger.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So what do you got for show and tell, Dave?
All right. So I plan on. I've been talking to Mike Danchik because I handled his gun at one of the matches at Shadowhawk, and he had the silicone carbide grip, which I've been wanting to do, but I've been very hesitant because once you put it on, like the adjustable back strap on the Canic will no
Yep.
longer be replaceable because it's going to be on and it's going to be a done deal. So I've been very hesitant about doing that. But with the new gun, the switch from the my normal competition Canic to this one, I think I'm going to do it. I've actually been looking at a white carbide to keep everything white.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a couple of upgrades I need to do, like Huggy showed it. There's the gun's empty, the slide's actually locked back. Upgrade the trigger, but I'm trying to be more careful because I've got the Fat Daddy 2 on my other one, and I didn't always press it where the trigger would actually depress because the trigger safety, the bar safety right there, would get caught up in that groove in the knuckle and it wouldn't get depressed. So I'm looking at the different trigger options so I can find one that won't do that. The other thing is Applied Arsenal or something. There's another company out there that's starting to make options for the Canic. Now, this is my wife's Canic, her SF Elite, and it is also empty, no mag, it's all clear. But they make a paddle mag release right here, and we have used this at the range. That thing is fantastic. So my plan is to change the trigger out on my SFX, the mag release button. I'm not sure what else I will do. I don't think there's much more than that. And then I plan on actually silicone carbiding my grip on that thing. So,
Okay. So question, you shot that paddle release on hers? Because that's the only one that has it, correct? Now, because it's the grip module is slightly smaller, do you think that you will have any issues putting it on your other one with how you actually grip the firearm and maybe engaging it accidentally?
No, the only real difference between the grip is the length.
Okay.
They're pretty much exactly the same. Just one is just longer than the other.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's an issue at all. And the nice thing is, if you look, the paddle, so the one on your right that you're looking at, that paddle is longer and extends closer to the back of the grip.
Yeah.
So it's much easier. When we were shooting it, it was way easier.
You don't have to change your grip to engage it.
It's just a matter of literally lowering your thumb, and there it is. Because you can see where my thumb rests.
Right.
Normally, when I'm getting a grip, it's right there. So it's just a matter of and all done.
Yeah, that's always been my hesitance in putting any of those paddle mag releases on anything, just because, I mean, I don't have, the meat hooks that Huggy has, but I also don't have, I got fat fingers and not necessarily big, but I got, my little sausage fingers.
So here's the grip.
Uh-huh.
Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah. Yep.
So here's the grip.
Okay.
You see the mag drop?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's great for you, Leo. I think that'd probably be great for you, but for me, having such large hands, I've already ran into where we were at nationals and my thumb literally pressed the mag release, because I was squeezing the gun, and next thing you know, whoop, I'm like, oh crap.
Oh, what stage was that on? I actually remember that.
Yes. I can't remember, but I was like, oh
crap. I don't even remember what day that was, but I do remember that. Yeah. So yeah, that's only ever been my concern with it, is just accidentally engaging it at not the best time. Like you just put in a fresh mag and you go to turn and shoot and you're like, pow, click. dang it, So that's only ever been my but if you're saying that you're not having any issues with it, that might be something, because
Yeah, I am
that's
definitely
to
not.
not have to re-grip every time you load is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk,
Eh,
and we've talked about that. Consistency is what gets you the wins.
Correct. And we got it for her because she does have the smaller hand, so she's got to really turn the gun,
Right.
and she doesn't have to adjust her hand to
That's awesome.
release it. So, and she doesn't have the strongest grip strength, so she doesn't. It still releases. You can press this thing all the way back here, and it still goes in.
Right.
Like when I was demonstrating, my thumb is actually up here by the top corner,
Yeah.
this top edge. It's only hitting right there and pushing in. So I'm not even. It's just
You don't have
barely
to get a full thumb
right.
on. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That is cool.
I'm very impressed with it.
All right.
So I'm probably going to get. I'm actually probably going to get 3 more, one for each of the other, one for
how much
each
do
of
those
the other
run?
mechanics. Well, the initial pre-order was $25.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's a drop in the hat.
Yeah.
So
that's easy.
I'm not sure if that's what the final price will be.
Right.
That was probably just like I said, the initial run to get it out there,
Right.
and let it work on its own advertising. So, but the quality is very good. It's very nice. Love the thing. So I'm definitely getting 3 more.
And who makes it?
I think it's Applied Arsenal Finishes.
Okay. Not a sponsor, but that's awesome.
Not a sponsor, but yeah, very, very nice. Let me.
Cool. All right. Well, there you go. I might have to get 2 of those for my Shonix, as they say in Turkey. as Huggy's best friend Mary reminded me one day when I went into the shop. She's like, "It's Shonic, Leo." I'm like, "This is America, Jack. It's Canic." Like, let the Turks correct me when I'm in Turkey.
Yeah, there you go. But we're not in Turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
So I eat turkey, but we're not in Turkey.
For the last 4 days.
Exactly.
Days, however,
last month.
Yeah.
We actually didn't have turkey on Christmas. We actually had lasagna.
We had lasagna the day before, and then we had 2 friends come over. So Elaine, for 4 whole adults, bought a 15-pound turkey.
Oh, goodness.
I said, you could have gotten guinea fowl and we would have been fine. She's like, but now we can eat turkey for days. I'm like, exactly. Turkey for days.
Dude, that's like,
you mean I'm going to be eating turkey for days?
Thank you. Because somebody in my house doesn't eat leftovers.
That's like Forrest Gump, with like shrimp this, shrimp that, shrimp gumbo.
Right.
Shrimp fricassee.
Right. Turkey this.
Barbecue shrimp.
Turkey shrimp.
That's about all you can say about that. Man, I want to watch that movie now. But anyway, stay on topic. All right.
Movie.
All right. So what else we got, Dave?
The other thing, I kind of touched on it earlier, but so I went through looking, went on the USPSA website initially to see what major matches there were, and I don't remember what May was, but I'm trying to write them down real quick. I know I'm doing the Area 6 in North Carolina.
Okay, when's that one?
Is that there's one in April that I'm looking at. I don't remember. That might be the one.
That's going to be kind of
I know May was mine and Huggy's production nationals that Huggy's going to.
Right.
But I thought there was another match another major in May.
There might be. I'm actually not doing one in May, but I've got. So actually, I was wrong. I wrote down May, but that's something completely different. So I'm actually doing 5 major matches this year. But I am doing. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to change the screen on the computer. Let me pull up USPSA here on my tablet real quick.
Huggy will contemplate the meaning of the universe while Dave is looking at his tablet.
Well,
So
it's so funny because he brought up a good point there about USPSA. I was also going to say, I know one of the new rule changes came out about holster location and holster. Gun.
This is the one where you're going to give me crap about my holster.
No. They
Okay,
actually came out with a new rule. I just looked at it. I was I found it very interesting, especially when the little blurb. If you read the whole thing through, the blurb at the end, it says, the RO will, how do you say, make a judgment call, if the person is larger, So
Talk about fat people.
Right. I'm like, if you happen to be robust.
Rubenesque,
Right. So I thought
rotund.
cherubic.
because they got a video showing the guy like putting the ruler up against the guy's waist to say, measure out how far the gun is from the belt to the holster and all that. So I'm like, oh, so what about us guys that have relaxed obliques that hang over? How are you going to do that?
It's muscle in potentia.
Yeah. Yes. So
there is no major match in May other than low cap nationals.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, at least there is the Mid-Atlantic sectional is May 28th. That's what it is. That's in Pennsylvania. I won't be doing that. That's too many anti-gun states to have to deal with.
That's a lot of driving through some.
Which is one.
Right.
I don't need to do that. So
it's not as though it's a small. Well, okay, technically it's a small state, but
right, it is. So Area 6 starts. I think April 8th. I think is a Thursday. So, but I've taken off the time I needed that weekend to be able to drive down and shoot that.
Where in North Carolina?
Salisbury.
Oh,
steak.
Yeah.
Yes. Boom.
Somebody say steak.
There's that voice.
Yeah. Hello. All right, and then, but how many days? That's just one day, though, isn't it?
It is a one-day thing, so that's an easy one. I'll probably go down the day before, check it out. So I'll probably schedule to shoot Saturday.
Okay.
Drive down Friday, check it out, walk everything. The wife and I'll probably go hang out that night, go do some stuff. I'll get a little bit of 15, 20 minutes of dry fire in, and then a little bit of dry fire in the morning at the range, walk back through some stuff and shoot the match. And it's only 3 or 4 hours from the house. So probably just drive back that night, or maybe we stay over another night, hang out, go to Raleigh, Durham area,
That's in April?
And that is April 8th. Yeah, that's a Thursday. So probably going to schedule to shoot the 10th, April 10th. The 11th is my sister's birthday, and it's her big one. It's the big 5-0.
Hey, happy birthday, Dave's sister. Just in case I miss it for whatever reason.
She's a cop. She's probably going to shoot me. For saying that.
She's a cop?
It's all good. It's all
Are
good.
you a cop?
She's still my little sister. So.
I've got, not little sister, but it's a little sister. Old, but little.
So there's that one.
Okay.
I'm not obviously Area 8 in August, so that's the next one. Then I'm gonna try to shoot the Wisconsin, which I was
gonna ask you about that one. When's that one?
That is in September. I still do not see it on the USPSA website. But it's in September. But I'm definitely going to do that one. I think it's like September 17th or 18th. Let me pull my calendar back up. Boom, there it is. Yeah, it's the weekend of the 18th. So I've taken off the 18th and the 20th. So I think we're going to actually fly because that's like a 17-hour drive or something.
Yeah, we had talked about that. Yeah, that's a long. Yeah. Now, is Jill gonna shoot any of this stuff, or is she just going?
I think she's just going to go.
Okay.
I don't think she's going to shoot. I would be
Okay.
okay if she shot, but I don't think she wants to, with her level of participation, I don't know that she wants to spend the money on that match
Right.
to, to shoot it for fun.
Well, and I also, and this is nothing against Jill. I love Jill. She's awesome. And this is nothing against any not super serious shooters, obviously. But that's one of those where if you're like you, Dave, are trying to, improve and trying to make your best finish, and now having to worry about Jill, and all the stuff that she's going to need and all that stuff, like that's going to be a big distractor for you.
Agreed.
So yeah, like that's one of those where kind of, hey, let her ease into it, and not just that one, but in general, like let her get into it. And if she's into it, then great, and then you don't have to worry about her because she'd be like Lise and Mike, where they don't worry about each other. They're there to support each other, but they don't have to worry like, oh, Lise doesn't know that she needs
Right.
to download mags or something like that,
Right. Yes, I
or
totally
Lise
agree.
the other way, like she's not worried about Mike,
Yeah.
whatever.
They're basically two independent shooters.
Right. They just
Once
happen to be
they're
married.
on there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it well together.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like that weekend we're talking about again, flying out on a Friday and
Right.
maybe not flying back till Monday.
Right.
Kind of
That's not bad.
driving around doing stuff on Sunday because neither one of I've been to Wisconsin
Right.
way back in 1989 actually for cold weather training. So that was, a few days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I didn't say it out loud, so if they look at this on Podbean or something, they're not gonna know what I just did.
They'll never know. Now they're
So
going
it
to have to
pays
go
to watch the YouTube channel.
as well. Yes.
But hey, when you do go, bring me back some cheese curds, please.
Okay.
I don't know if
Not
it's
a
from
problem.
Wisconsin, or I always forget if it's Wisconsin or
Yes.
the other states that are out there.
Wisconsin. cheese.
But one of them makes cheese curds. If they have them, I will happily take some cheese
It's
curds.
got to be Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. I don't know.
Everything's cheese.
That's
Yeah.
right. Unless
And
you
then
go to
Okay, so you got North
I got
Carolina.
Area 6 in
Area 8.
April,
Okay.
Area 8 in August, and then I will do the Wisconsin sectional
Okay.
in September. Then I'll do the normal Virginia State at the beginning of October,
Okay.
and then nationals in the middle of October. So I will treat Virginia State I'm going to treat them all like nationals, but
Right. Prep for nationals.
I will definitely use Virginia State as like, I will compete like it's nationals. And then at the end of that match, once I determine, where my weak points are, then I will stress those in dry fire training up until
Right.
nationals.
That'll be your study guide. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm good here, so I don't need to focus so much on my draw or whatever. It's I need to focus on footwork, or I need to focus on transition, or whatever the things that you are least good at that point.
Right. Or
Gotcha.
maybe I slipped out of target focus shooting
Right.
more into sight focus. So I need to get back to
Right.
I'm even contemplating shooting some local matches with tape on my optic. Hey, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I think the dogs are eating something.
right.
That's
also,
not funny, by the way. It's terrible. But yeah,
well, it got him a new mic. So,
that is true. I do like that mic. I like my new mic, by the way.
wow.
That's not the, this mic.
Right.
It's got the fancy thing on the front of it.
Right. Like his.
So.
So,
Sorry.
What do the dogs get?
Well, no, the wife
Okay.
is, as you guys know, there was that emergency,
Yeah.
so she's not here. And we have a bell that hangs on our sliding glass door. When the
Yeah.
dogs want to go out, they hit the bell with their nose.
Yeah.
And one of them hit the bell with his nose. So,
Oh, yeah,
and
you
he's
gotta-
the one.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the one. If you don't get up and let him out, he will pee 3 or 4 gallons
Yeah.
in the
Buckets.
house. It's bad.
Yeah.
And he walks. So he'll walk 20 feet peeing the whole way.
You know what that is?
Urine?
That's anger pee. He's like, oh, they won't let me out? Okay.
I'll show you.
Don't let me out. See what happens.
Yeah.
Tell me not to
So-
go outside.
And when he's not yet 7 months and already roughly 100 pounds, you got to let them go pee. So give me 1 second. The other one just rang the bell
Go
too.
ring the bell.
Yep.
Brother went out. I'm going too.
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Daddy.
I was also going to mention, like, for you, you guys, I guess you got your new aim cam glasses.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was going to say you need to show and tell your new. There
I want
you
to see if
go.
Dave notices that I changed my look.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I was funny because I was actually thinking to myself, I should wear these the entire time that we're shooting this and record us shooting this. But then I was like, oh, what if something inappropriate pops up on my screen that they can't see? You know.
Right.
So they're not on right now, just on the
I mean-
off chance that a wang shows up or something.
I made sure I closed out all of that on my computer before we started.
Yeah, that's why I only have the one screen open. Usually I have all three, but I was like, nah, just on the off chance that I was researching something. You know.
For medical science.
Yeah, performance research. I'm
Enhancement.
gonna bust out the Huggy air quotes.
So yeah,
Right.
so I think I'm gonna shoot probably more than one local match with the front of my optic taped off.
Okay.
Because I want to shoot some matches where I am forced to focus on the target and putting the red dot on, putting the red dot where I'm looking versus look at the red dot like it's a front sight post.
Mhm.
So I noticed that there are times where I'm way too dot focused and not nearly enough target focused. So even on some of the close targets, I have a tendency at times just to point and shoot
Right.
instead of actually put the dot on the target, pull, shoot, and then transition. So I think that'll fix a lot of things. And I feel like I need to do it in matches to build that habit.
So okay, so that actually brings up a question then. In your for the both of you, obviously, what are your thoughts? Because you were talking about how sometimes you just point shoot with close targets. A, do you think that there's actually a downside to doing that? And B, how often do you think that you're actually doing that for close targets? And then C, what range for you is like, hey, I know I can point shoot and I'm going to get at least a Charlie, probably an alpha. I know that was a 3-part question, but
it was. I have found that I can point shoot and get 2 alphas at 3 yards and in.
okay.
Just literally just extend the gun out and look over top of the gun and bang bang.
Yeah.
The problem is by doing that, I end up building a habit of trying to do it at 5 yards.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's where I want to get away from. Even on the 3 yards, I still want to bring it up. Even if I just catch a glimpse of the dot, I want to be able to see that dot and then shoot and transition. So I'm building some bad habits and I'm not anywhere near the level of some of these other guys where they can get away with some sloppiness. I can't get away with any sloppiness. I've got to build very strong habits for later to be able to improve, to be where I want to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like
Okay.
I literally, when I said I created goals, I'll put it on the Google Drive for you guys to be able to
Yeah.
see. But like I have goals for all the major matches I've shot in the past, Area 8, State, and now Nationals. I have goals for each one of those. So in order to meet those goals, I've got to have the right habits and I've got to train the proper way in order to meet those goals. If I do everything right, I feel I will easily meet they're not simple goals, but I should be able to surpass them with effort. So
Okay, yeah. So you didn't set yourself up to not achieve the goal. Like they're
Correct.
achievable, but you also want to, like, there's the goal beyond the goal of I can do this, but then maybe surpass that goal.
Well, but the goal is also if I don't put in the effort, I'm not going to make the goal.
Gotcha.
So I have to put in the effort to make the goal. But if I put in the effort and everything that I'm doing and the way I'm going, I might even, I'm saying, I shouldn't say should, but I might even be able to surpass and reach a goal that I'm setting for the next year
Okay.
if I
I'm
do
tracking.
this right. So that's actually,
tracking.
I'm trying
Okay.
to see if I can even progress further than my goal that I've
Gotcha.
set.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, what about you, Huggy?
About his goals or about my
No,
goals? in
point
general?
like the point shooting, and then we
Oh,
can. It's not always about your goal. Calm down. We'll get to your goals.
no,
Jeez.
not my goals.
Just
My
answer
goal
the question.
My goal is always to, outrun you.
Appetizer. Talk
Yeah.
about food. Talk about point shoot.
Right. Point shoot. I I'm not at the level of Dave. I'm still constantly like looking at the dot, and then that's my problem is I look at the dot too long instead of look at point shoot and transitioning because that's why I'm slow. So go ahead. I feel a turtle.
No. So you talk about your front post?
Yes.
Okay.
His fiber optic dot.
Fiber
Okay.
optic.
Sorry. I was
I
like,
don't actually.
does he have an imaginary red dot on his gun that I'm not worried that? Okay. Just making sure.
Explains a lot.
Yeah.
Out there, I don't have an optic.
Okay.
Fiber optic.
No, it's fine. I was just for clarification purposes.
Yes. So, but yes, I definitely need to be working more on my transition. Because I stay too long. That's my problem.
Yes.
And I need to be working on see it, shoot it, and transition, go. And that's my goal. And one of a few goals. I'm also getting some new bionics, hopefully for my legs to transition faster. No, I'm just talking like knee braces or something.
$6 million man stuff.
Yes.
That's
right.
Yeah.
I might get that. Like,
You just don't want to have the Steve Austin crash.
no.
He already kind
Not
of did that,
good.
technically. He doesn't want to have it again.
He did.
I did. Yes. But they didn't put the 6 million in me. I only got like 1,000.
Yeah, they were like,
What?
I don't know if this is worth the investment. That's a lot of money.
It wasn't a space capsule. It was just a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And the worst part is that I wasn't even going fast enough to sit there and be like, yeah, dude, I was like breaking the sound barrier.
Mass times acceleration, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mass.
It's no different than power factor, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the same formula.
Yep.
Yes. Trust me. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah.
And so, but
It's
like,
math.
Yeah. I don't even understand that math, but I know it's math.
yes. So,
Imagine that math in slow-mo.
Huggy, I'm gonna throw something out there you need to think about,
yes.
and that is your glasses causing you problems.
Oh yeah. I mean, because I kept always doing this.
You do that, but what else are you, when you do that, it's making you stand all the way up.
Yeah.
Instead of being crouched and have a lower center of gravity, you're standing up as tall as you are and then looking like that.
Right. You're
So
absolutely
just
right.
think about that too.
It's actually interesting you brought that up because I purchased they're not new, but for myself they are. They're ESS, I think it is, glasses. But the actually bifocal, yes, I am saying bifocal because I'm old, is at the top. So now instead of like you said, standing straight up, it's going to take my head down, so I'm going to be leaning forward into it. So
Okay, good.
I'm
I like
looking
it.
forward to trying that
But
out.
now when you're walking to the stage, you're going to be walking like this. I am super excited and looking forward to watching Huggy drag his cart walking like this from stage to stage.
But see, I'm actually jealous. I'm jealous of you two though, because you guys got those nice aim cams. I'm like, man, I wish I had a set of those.
I wish I had better eyeballs. Like the aim cam is great, but again, blind in one eye, and it's the eye I use to shoot.
Right. But
Not blind, but fuzzy.
Right. And that's why I wish we could get those in prescription. I know they're supposed to, but I haven't heard,
We can
How-
always talk to Brian.
And how much is that going to cost? So
A phone
Brian,
call. Hunters HD Gold. Not a sponsor, but one day, because Brian is awesome.
yes, he
Yeah.
is. He is
I
a
love
great
that guy.
guy. He is a great guy.
and he does make the lenses for the aim cam. So
Yes, he does.
Yes.
eventually that will be an upgrade for me, but
Yes.
that's going to have to wait a little bit.
That's
So,
that's getting pushed down the
Yeah.
road a little bit. Got to kick that can down the road.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of.
All right.
It's-
Well, what else you got? That was just a weird tangential thing I was curious about. But
No,
what
it's
else you got
good.
on your
That was
list?
a good
Dave?
question. I have covered everything on my list.
Oh, good. Well, that's not bad.
No.
We did. Hey, look at us being responsible with time management.
But here's one
Doesn't
question.
happen frequently.
I do have one question. Just
Go
maybe
ahead.
we segue this onto our next episode. But and I know we kind of talked about it, just touched upon it. But how old would you start someone shooting competition?
Oh, shooting competition.
Yes.
That is a great
Even-
segue for our next episode. I will say
Right.
that.
Right. How old would you say for shooting, competition, local, not national, but just starting out local and all this stuff? How old would you?
I don't think that's one of those things where I don't think there is a firm answer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, at what age does a man become well, shoot, now the word has already escaped me. Anyway,
Child becomes a man.
no, wow, I can't even think of the word. It literally, I was just about to say it and it escaped me. But anyway, it's way too individual dependent. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So you would have to put other factors into it instead of an age. At what age? You'd be like, at what point do you think they are capable of
Right. Yeah.
shooting competition? Like,
Yeah.
can they manage the recoil? Can they reload the gun? Can they chamber around on their own? It's those types of things.
Can
Can
they
they
work through a
follow
malfunction?
commands?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
They know how to, do all those things.
Yeah.
It's like playing catch versus playing baseball. Like, you could teach your kid to play catch, which is teaching your kid to shoot, but then does your kid even have interest in playing baseball or doing the shoot? Because if you teach your kid to shoot and they're like, all right, cool, I know how to shoot, I'm proficient, and then you're like, hey, do you want to go shoot a competition? And they're like, I don't care. No. Well, then, like, if the kid doesn't have any interest, now you're just torturing your child. Not literally, please, just to be very clear, that's hyperbole, obviously.
Right.
But like, your kid's like, I don't care. So
Right.
I think it is, like Dave says, there's a lot of factors, and it's definitely very kid dependent.
Mhm.
Like, my nephew loved it, and he also has a big crush on Monster, so I'm super excited but anyway, that's beside the point.
Just dived him out.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't care. Nico Maritato, crush on Monster.
Right.
I really hope he listens to this.
For those who don't know who Monster is, go ahead.
Yeah,
and
we'll talk about that. But I think he went with my brother-in-law and I to Shadowhawk when he was 9 and shot with us and loved it. Did a great job, had a couple of malfunctions, knew how to work them, cleared them great, kept shooting. But again, he was not my niece. I think she's 2 years younger, not even like great shooting, not even remotely interested.
Mm.
So,
And I think you could probably go as young as 5 if you did Steel Challenge with a 22,
yeah.
because those are much easier to cycle the slide, and you start with the gun already in your hand, pointed down range. So it's just a matter of plink, 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 plink.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Very simple commands. There's no real movement involved.
Yeah.
So, but once you get into USPSA, there is no 22, even
Right.
IDPA. The IDPA, I would wait even longer, because now
yeah,
you're
'cause
drawing basically from concealed.
You got to
There's
clear a
little,
garment and the whole 9. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't see why you couldn't start some kids at the age of 5 on Steel Challenge.
Well, and like you said, especially with those 22s, because a lot of those larger caliber firearms, can they even hold it in their hand?
Right.
You know?
I agree with you. That was going to lead to, even if they can hold the firearm, that leads to what firearm is more oriented for somebody with smaller hands, and stuff like that. So it just
Yeah, that's a whole other topic, a whole
Yeah, I
other
mean that
episode.
could be that's a couple hours of
right.
There's
Like I said, I wanted to say something just to kind of make our segue.
Oh,
in.
that's a rabbit hole the size of a sperm whale. So
For those of you that don't know, sperm whale is rather large.
yes, and not a sponsor.
Definitely not. Maybe a beluga.
Those are pretty cool looking.
But yeah, no, that's
All
a
right,
good question.
so-
That definitely is a good segue.
Yeah.
So,
So go ahead. What's next week, Leo?
okay. So next week we are going to be interviewing a young lady, nicknamed Monster, and talking to her. And she is, I won't say significantly. She's younger than the Williamses sisters, but she
Significantly.
shoots in our area. And her dad and I will be on her dad and her, however you say that grammatically correct. They will be on the show answering questions and chit chatting with us and talking about what it is to be a young female shooter in the sport, or really just a young person in the sport, and who just happens to be a girl. And we're going to ask her a bunch of questions, and hopefully she's going to answer them, and it'll be really cool and fun.
And she's very slight of stature,
Yeah.
but very
Tiny little
impressive.
rail.
Yeah, very
She's a
impressive.
beanpole, but she shoots like a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll be a fun interview.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, and they reached out to us, and we are more than happy to have them because again, they're local, we're local, and it's a great opportunity for us to talk to somebody who is definitely an up and comer, and I think she will, much like Kevin from Fairfax, she will be a force to be reckoned with as she gets older. So
Mhm.
I think we need to reach out to him and Dave W as well.
yeah, we do talk about them a lot. We may as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we should. I mean, we're starting. This is where people are starting to get back into their season now,
Yeah.
prepping for the new one. So those would be two more really good ones to bring on. But I'm definitely excited about next Sunday. So
Yeah,
that'll be
I'm super amped about it. Her dad is very excited about it as well. So I hope she is as enthusiastic as we are to have her on the show.
Yes.
And if for those people that do actually listen, if you have suggestions about people you want us to try to talk to, we will take them and we will beg, borrow, plead, and steal in order to get people on the show. So let us know who
And-
you want us to talk to.
And if you're one of those higher level shooters, and we've talked about some stuff that you would like to come on and discuss, maybe set some things straight
Refute.
or add your hey, we're down. Reach out.
I love being corrected. That's why I'm married. I love being told when I'm wrong. I have zero problem being told that I'm wrong. It happens on a semi-daily basis.
That's a good point. I had not thought of it that way, but
I
yeah,
get
that's
corrected
correct.
a lot.
Yeah.
Also, you might want to say, I didn't know if you want to say is that, if you have questions that you want asked, to a person
Anything.
to please send them in, and we will try to ask those
If there
questions.
are topics you want us to discuss, if there are questions you want us to chit chat about, anything like that, just reach out to us. We are very approachable given the current 6-foot restriction on spatial contact. But let us know. Reach out to us on the Instagram, on the YouTubes, and all that jazz. Let us know. We're always looking for something to talk about. So other than each other's facial hair or lack of, hair.
I mean, we had the one guy, Marshall, who wanted to talk about hunting rifles. We had him on and discussed that for a topic. We'll talk anything guns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Truth.
Awesome.
We love to talk about it.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's I don't have anything. So I mean, I got stuff, but it's for future episodes. So
Right on.
All right. Well, looking forward to next weekend then.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm gonna go work on Mary. Finish her up.
Enjoy.
Pew pew Mary.
Gun.
Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.